Extreme Foolishness TV here. This is where I talk about extreme foolishness that goes on around you. Today I'll be talking to you guys about the whole Aber and Preach situation. It took every fiber in my body to make this video. I just felt like, I had to say something about it. I didn't really want to do this video. But the purpose of this video is just to talk about the lessons learned from the whole debacle with Fresh and Feet as it relates to Aber and Preach. For those who don't know the story, a lot of people know about it now, but for those who don't know, it's just a simple disagreement about an issue between Aber and Preach and Fresh and Feet. Fresh and Feet seem to say that any guy who pays for the box or who pays to play, pays to get laid, is pretty much not lame, and you cannot get a woman's soul if you pay to play. I don't know what really that means, trying to get the woman's soul, but hey, I love these guys. I know just want to get the buddy. They ain't trying to get the soul. But hey, it's another story for another day. And Fresh, Aber and Preach were like, hey, guys do it. It's not a big deal. Whoever does it, people do it for convenience. So it was a disagreement about an issue of paying for the box. Aber and Preach made a video about that, and obviously the Myron, I guess, from the Fresh and Feet guys made a response video where they pretty much went on a rant. So the first lesson is that you should not be proud. You should not be proud. When the Fresh and Feet guys made the video, it was like a rant. They were pretty much attacking Aber and Preach, saying, we're better than you. We get more girls than you. Our studio is better than you. We get laid more than you. We get more girls than you. We drink better than you. We smoke better than you. We ride cars better than you. We jump off the car better than you. They didn't say we drink and smoke, but I just added that one. But you get the gist. It's like, we're better than you. We're better than you. I'm like, that's so lame. So to me, that lets me know that these guys are proud. This Fresh and Fit guys. Because if you talk to someone like Aber and Preach, who have a bigger platform, at least on paper, they have 1.4 million subscribers. And Fresh and Feet have maybe, like, at the time, 430,000 subscribers. If you talk to them like that, which means how would you talk to somebody who has a smaller subscriber base than you, or somebody who's not as influential, or somebody who's not wealthy like that as much as you? Like, that means you're going to talk down on them. You can pretty much extrapolate how they're going to talk to somebody they perceive to be beneath them if they talk to somebody who's even higher than them. Aber and Preach have been in the game longer than Fresh and Feet. They have more subscribers, but the only reason the Fresh and Feet guys felt like they could talk to them that way was because they felt like they have more views, even though they have a lower subscriber count than Aber and Preach. So they have more views, so he can talk to them like that. That's what, he had a graph on the video talking about, oh, look at the graph here. The graph here. We have more views than them. So therefore, because he, in his mind, has more views than Aber and Preach, he can talk to them any kind of way. So to me, that's proud. You can't be proud, man. Being proud is lame. I don't like proud people. Also, I go for energy. For me, I have a discerning spirit. I go for people's energy. The energy I get from the Fresh and Fit guys is an energy of someone who's lame. Someone who's lame, who's just want to be just not real, fake. I can't stand fake people, man. I have a zero tolerance for fake people. I swear, I can't stand lame people, fake people. They just have that energy of somebody who's lame and fake. So I've never really been a fan like that. They work hard, don't get me wrong, they grind, but it's just something fake about it. Right? They're trying too hard. Like, man, this is the first time he happened upon some money. Or this is the first time he got a pretty chick. Or this first time he got a night. You just know that something is just, it's just not authentic about them. They look like the type that will say anything just to get clicks, likes, and subscribers. They cannot stand on anything. Whatever they say has to be calculated. No matter how disingenuous it is, they will say just to get clicks, likes, views, and subscribers. That is your whole motive, which is cool, but at the end of the day, you cannot sacrifice your principle. People who have principle do not sacrifice the principle for those things. People who do not have the principles, who don't have any kind of integrity, they're so quick to sacrifice whatever it is just to get some kind of a reward. So to me, the Albert and Preach guys to me come off like people who are authentic and real and will say things the way because they feel that way, not just because they're trying to get clicks or likes. So the energy I get from both of them, that's the way it comes off. Another thing that you need, I guess, as a lesson is that you can't count your chickens before they're hatched. In the video, the Fresh and Fit guys was like, you may have more subscribers than us right now, but I guarantee you by next year, I'm going to lap you guys. Man, tomorrow is not promised, let alone next year. People are dying every day. What if you lose your channel? You can lose your channel today. YouTube could cut your channel off today or tomorrow. That's it. You could lose your life. You cannot be saying you're going to lap somebody in a year when every breath we take, when you wake up in the morning, you need to thank the Lord, the Most High. So for me, you can't count your chickens like that. You never even know what could happen. Now they're hemorrhaging subscribers, bleeding subscribers. Like somebody who has hemophilia who just got a cut. The bleeding can't stop the bleeding. When this whole saga started, they had maybe 430,000 subscribers, give or take. Now they're down to like 396, 90, whatever it is. They've lost 30-something thousand subscribers within a week. And I know it has to hurt because they're working so hard putting out content. And people who do that hope to grow their channel. But the more they put out, they are just hemorrhaging, bleeding subscribers by the day. So it's always kind of good. You can't count your chickens before they're hatched. Another thing that I feel like is just another lesson is that you gotta learn to talk to people and stop making personal attacks. This Myron guy from the Fresh and Feet attacked Preach personally, at hominem attack. He attacked him personally, he attacked his wife. He said that he is probably married to a beluga whale. He attacked his country of Haiti. Who does that, man? Come on, yo. Who does that? Only a lame person does it. Attacking someone's character or his wife, his family, his country. That's not the way to do things, man. So to me, that was just not a good way to do it. Another thing that I think is a lesson is the lesson of de-escalation. De-escalation is key. In any dispute that you find yourself in, whether it's a physical fight, verbal, just anything, work dispute, online dispute, it's always good to de-escalate. The Fresh and Fit guys, is it Fit, whatever it is, Fresh, or I think Fresh, he challenged Preach to a boxing match, thereby escalating the whole situation, even though he was in the wrong. And now when Preach accepted the offer to a boxing match, he backpedaled. That is lame. Like any situation, there's no need to up the temperature. Always try to de-escalate. Because what happens if they go to the boxing match and bam, one punch, you dead? I was at LA Fitness once, and there was a guy, you know how LA Fitness gets the basketball, people there been playing that, see they want to make it to the NBA. This guy was arguing, wanted to fight. They tried to stop the fight. He still wanted to fight. Till they left him alone. He met the guy he wanted to fight with, and the guy gave him one punch and knocked him out cold. He made it, he survived, but they had to call the ambulance and rushed him to the hospital. But he could have been dead just because he did not know how to just cool the temperature. There's no need to always want to escalate things. De-escalate. Even when you encounter with the police, they train the officers to de-escalate. It doesn't always only apply to police officers. I think we should all take that lesson and de-escalate. instead of just trying to up the tempo. Another lesson which you learn is just the lesson of there's nothing wrong in saying sorry. If you take an L, it's always apologizing is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. You should do that. Had this guy apologized directly to the people he wronged from the beginning, maybe he wouldn't have gotten this bad. But no, he just refused to apologize. He gave what I feel to be a disingenuous apology and said, which I think the apology was directed at his viewers. In other words, I guess the bleeding was so much, he was losing subscribers, and he directed the apology to his viewers and said, I should know better. But he never once said, you know what, preach, I am sorry, forgive me, let's have a beer, let's shake hands, let's call it quits, let's move on. But people, he didn't have the humility to do that. People just gotta be humble, man. He didn't have, because whatever he had was a blessing. He didn't have the humility to do that. He could not even say he's sorry. That just lets you know how proud, egotistical some people are. And the universe always finds a way to check those people, which is what is happening. This is synonymous to the Kwame Brown and Charlemagne the God dispute. I guess you can call it a dispute. The streets, the YouTube streets, the public streets, pretty much checked Charlemagne. When he tried to send Kwame Brown a cease and desist letter, when that didn't work, and he felt like he was losing, he apologized later on. I guess he got the message like, hey, this is not something he could not win, so he apologized. But this guy's here did not apologize directly. They brought out what appears to be an apology, but to me is very disingenuous, very inauthentic, fake apology that wasn't directed at the wronged party. Another thing that I think we should all learn from is that we should be wary of people, you follow, you listen to. I know a lot of folks get on YouTube, and within the twinkle of an eye or the snap of a finger, they're experts in a related field. They don't practice what they preach. You know what I'm saying? They talk the talk, but they cannot walk the walk. They create this online persona of being gurus, but they're fake. You know what I'm saying? So you should be careful you listen to, because this guy's out there saying, well, he has a problem with guys paying for pay to play, paying for the box. But it turns out he has an online profile where he's pretty much advertising himself to pay for the box. So he doesn't pretty much walk the walk. He talks the talk. Anyone can talk. Talk is cheap, but he doesn't walk the walk. So this is one of those situations where this guy is just creating a fake persona online. Like, he knows what he's doing. He practices what he preaches, but it's all fake. You paying for the box. So why are you coming out here telling all this guys who are following you, especially some of them are younger men who are trying to navigate their way with women or trying to find their way around women, and you are there pretty much misleading them, not telling them what you're doing, obviously. Another thing is that I think he's misleading men in terms that, I won't say men in general, but the guys who follow him or watch him or take advice from him, relationship advice especially, his platform doesn't have a fair representation of women in general. It appears his platform is just attracts a lot of these women, IG, quote unquote, IG baddies, IG Tatianas, OnlyFans model, sex workers, bottle girls, strippers, and the like. Nothing wrong with those women. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. But if you're going to bring women on your show, you should have women who represent a broad spectrum of women. Don't just give a select few of type of women and use your opinion or whatever they say on the show as a representation of how women think in general. That is inaccurate and misleading. And again, this comes from my scientific background that, your sample size is so small. So your results are going to be inherently flawed. Obviously, the reason your sample size is so small has been put to the forefront. The fit guy, obviously, from reports online and women's direct testimony, that he's trying to leverage his platform to exert sexual favors from women. And once they refuse his offer to get sexual favors in exchange for them appearing on his show, he doesn't want them to appear anymore. There's no telling how many women he's done this to, which means that you probably have eliminated a lot of good women who are not going to succumb to his demands. So he's only going to attract a lot of those IG models who are desperate to come to his platform because obviously they want the exposure. Maybe one of the simps who watches their platform can subscribe to them or follow them and start paying them. And they, at the peak of their show, they probably had maybe 10, 15,000 folks watching their lives. Out of 10 to 15,000 folks watching, they probably have maybe 500 simps or 250 simps. All it takes is one simp. So if a girl goes on the show and she's able to get one or two, a couple of simps who DM her, then hey, she can get flown out. She can be taken to expensive dates and shopping and who knows. But a virtuous woman would not fall for that stuff. So the sample size is so small. That means whatever opinion he gives to his followers do not accurately depict a broad spectrum of how women think. It's just getting IG models. We all know how they think. We know how that any guy who's been in the game, who's been in the streets, knows how a stripper thinks, how an IG model thinks. A lot of those girls who are thirsty for attention, how they think. So that's the kind of girls he brings on his show. Obviously, because those girls are more likely than not. I'm not saying guarantee, but they are more likely than not to give up the box in exchange to appear for an appearance on their platform. So, and I think it's lame. Another lesson you need to learn is that do not mix business with pleasure. I'm a business owner too. I would not dare mix business with pleasure with any of my staff. It's not even good for business. You expose yourself to lawsuits where the women will say, hey, he talked to me a certain way, SA lawsuits, or start behaving like this around the women you work with, then you can get exposed to lawsuits, employment law lawsuits where they're saying you are creating a toxic environment, especially in this Me Too era. This is not good for business. This is not good. You're exposing yourself to legal liability for no damn reason. So, just like I advise a lot of guys in the workplace or any kind of business stuff, it's better to separate business from pleasure. That's a lesson. And people should take heed to this advice. And obviously, these fresh and fit guys are so cocky to the point where he's having text message exchanges or DMs with some of these girls who want to appear on his show, and he's telling them, well, you slept with some guys I know, so you gotta sleep with me too in order to come on my show. That is lame, yo. Then he's telling them you can screenshot it and share it and blah blah blah. Cocky on top of that. Who raised you, man? Who raised you, bro? I'm serious, man. This is lame, man. So I hope that, folks, if you watch this video, I appreciate you. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know. I appreciate diverse viewpoints here. I just think the whole thing with the Fresh and Fit is just extremely foolish. They handle this thing in an extremely foolish way. And I feel like the lessons learned, at least for now, is that, be humble. Treat people with respect. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Don't count it. You know what I'm saying? De-escalate. Don't mix business with pleasure. Stay safe out there, my people. I appreciate you for watching again. If you haven't subscribed, I'll appreciate a subscription from you. If you like this content, share it. Let me know what you think in the comments anyway. Again, stay safe out there. And most importantly, say no to extreme foolishness.